Hi, I'm Donna, and I own a little shop called TeaPots and Treasures. It's in downtown Indianapolis, almost on the circle at 7 East Market. I blend all the teas that we have, and I ship them all over the world. Everybody says that they're yummy teas. We're going to be doing tea tips on YouTube, and we're starting today with some very basic tea tips. We're going to be starting with brewing tea. Now, we have a black tea that is our #1 seller. It's called the Canterbury. It's a blend that I do specifically for the prestigious Canterbury Hotel that's downtown. And this is a yummy, yummy black tea that is an Assam with flowers and mango in it. You see how pretty that is. Now, most of the pots that we use are about 6 cups. And when I make a pot of tea, I usually put 2 cubes in the bottom so that it can get melted. I did already warm this pot up so it's not shocked by the boiling water when I put it in there. I use an infuser that I happen to manufacture. I love it because of the handles on it. It fits over the tops of just about any kind of a teapot. This is wider, much wider than this one here. And it works on top of the mugs so that you're able to make a cup of tea pretty quick. Now, when I put the tea into the infuser for a pot that's about a 6-cup average, I fill it about 1/3. Actually, it's shy of 1/3. It's just a little bit under 1/3. Now, if I'm using this in my mug, it'll be 2 level teaspoons. Level, because most people use too much tea. So as you can see here, it's just a little bit shy of 1/3. I place that over the pot. Whoops. Well, things happen. And is the water boiling, Shirley? Shirley usually assists me when I do tea education classes. Now, this water is boiling. Now, you can boil your water on your stove, make it come to a full rolling boil, or if you have a tea kettle that you're able to dial the temperature, 170, 180, and then 212 to 220. Remember, for black, it's 212 to 220. I pour the boiling water right on top of the leaves so that they're able to burst open with that flavor and all those nutrients that are in there. And I make sure there's enough water to actually cover the tea leaves. I'm going to hand that back to you. Thank you. And then I just place the something on top of the teapot so that it's able to steep. Now, on this particular black tea, and most black teas, the first infusion is about 2 minutes. You can be a little bit shy on the 2 minutes if you don't like your tea strong. Now, white, green, and black teas all come from the same tea plant, so they all have caffeine in the first infusion. The first infusion has the caffeine in it. Now, I'm taking this out. The color looks good. I'm placing it in the little rest, and as you can see, thank you, the tea has oxidized and expanded. And that's just on the first infusion. Now, actually, I'm going to put a little drip catcher. This is a little drip catcher that I'm putting on top of the pot here. And Shirley, can you bring that cup and saucer over here and I can show them the color. That's a perfect color for the Canterbury tea, for a black tea. Thank you. Smells great. Now, when we're done with this pot, I would take the same tea leaves and put them back into the pot again and pour the boiling water over them. The tea would then expand again. On the second infusion, you have less caffeine in it than a decaffeinated tea bag, but you don't have the chemicals that go along with it. And then with each infusion after that, you continue to get the nutrients, but no caffeine. So you have 6 or 7 infusions that are out of that. Now, I have a nice, actually this is a beautiful white tea. see if I can show this to you. This tea is called Amazing Grace. And it's such a nice tea. We actually pour our soy candles to match our tea, so we have an Amazing Grace candle. So this tea is beautiful. It does have a little tiny bits of raspberries in it, a little bit of fruit, and that can be confusing about the temperature of the tea and also for the time for the tea. Now I've already put 2 sugar cubes into this pot. Because the white tea is kind of fluffy, it's very, very light. I usually fill this up to about 1/3, not quite a half, and maybe just a smidge over 1/3. And I place that in here. Now the thing about white tea is that you don't want to steep it too long so that it gets acidic and bitter, or that you used water that is too hot. So you want to be able to use 170-degree temperature. And if you're not sure what temperature that is, there's a lot of different things you can do. You can boil the water and count to 30 or walk to the other side of the room. Just don't pour it on top of the tea leaves right away. Is that water ready? Now with white tea, people think it's still going to have the same kind of color. It doesn't have the color that the black tea has or the green tea, and actually different white teas have different colors. So you'll learn what you really like and you'll be able to tell. So again, I'm pouring the water over the tea leaves so that it can steep. And the first steeping of the white tea is just at 1 minute. Sometimes I go 1 minute and 10 seconds. Now there's other kinds of teas. You've heard of the red teas, and you've heard about the blooming teas, a lot of different kinds of herbal teas. We're going to, and the mate teas. We're going to explore all the different kinds of teas and the brewing and the tasting of it. I wish all of you could be here so you could taste all the tea, but you won't be able to. Okay, so we have good color on this one too. May I pour this in your cup? Now this is really a delicate and light colored tea. Thank you, honey. So I hope you've learned a little bit with these little tea tips, and next week we're going to talk about some of the mates and some of the benefits of the tea. So I hope you'll join us, and thank you for tuning in.